there, my name is Sheila Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And a Screen Rant is at it again. Screen Rant is ranting once again about how this era of Doctor Who is fantastic. Nothing can go wrong with it. Nobody hates it. It's not fallen off a cliff. It's not like lost all its popularity. It's just utterly fantastic and wonderful in every way. It's actually, I'd actually read these articles before I read them with you because I want you to get my live reactions, which are normally pretty darn severe. So this one is going to explain to us how the Timeless Children, Timeless Child, whatever they want. Yeah, Timeless Children is going to help Doctor Who. I guess it's going to help it from being so popular, so it won't feel crowded by people watching it, have less eyes on it. That must be the help it's talking about, because they're freaking crazy. So this is another one in the please validate me by not saying the show that I don't really like, but I think is stunning and brave, is bad. Please help validate me. Let's validate each other. Basically, it's about, again, I mean, like, guys, if your enjoyment of something is hampered by it not being popular, then you probably don't enjoy it that much. I like a lot of things that aren't that popular. I like Doctor Who. When I was a kid growing up, Doctor Who wasn't that popular. I liked it anyway. I liked it. In fact, you were kind of looked down upon in the 80s and 90s if you like Doctor Who. 70s, you were kind of derided. So and it was fine, and we still loved it. And it's okay if you love it. There's nothing wrong. I don't like it. And I will keep talking about how much I don't like it, because I like to talk about that. Anyway, so that's what's going on in this video. Can I ask you guys, can you hit the subscribe button? That would be fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative. As always, everybody subscribing, you subscribe. You can enter my weekly competitions, although this is bi-weekly, I think, because this should have gone out last week. The Godfather DVD Collection, 3 stonking great movies, and the part 2 is in over several days. 3 stonking great movies, and lots of DVD extras and commentaries, which are actually really darn good. All you need to do to win it, subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag "You broke my heart, Fredo." You broke my heart, Fredo. And I will do the giveaway, I think, on Sunday. I'm aiming for Sunday. I forgot last week. I'm sorry. I'll do it on the TARDIS zone on Sunday. Fine. Let's get into this article, which is again part of the desperate validation tour, which they are going through right now. It's written by the same article that I put a video out on yesterday, and Thomas Bacon. Thomas Bacon is a little bit desperate. So let's read what he's got to say. Actually, you know what? Before we read it, let's look at his Twitter profile, because that's always going to put things in focus. So it says here, Tom Bacon, freelance writer focused on entertainment industry, a lifelong fan of superhero comics and films with a love of in-depth analysis. It sounds like we are in the same ballpark. But then, if you scroll down his Twitter feed, you'll see politics. Boris Johnson, politics. All there, more politics, all thrown in. Oh no, Brexit. Politics. No Trump here. I'm quite impressed. No, there's a bit more politics. And look, how far back are we? We're 16 hours back. Okay, looks like politics is kind of like a major focus on you. So God, I don't know. Look, more politics. This is not good for any of you. This is not good for you. This is making you all crazy. More politics. Oh God, how much? Okay. This is what, if you're a fan of this era, I'm going to make a recommendation to you that will make your life so much better. I'm going to give you 3 recommendations. Firstly, take a day off Twitter. Just take a day off Twitter. Don't get involved in any outrages, and don't tell anybody that they're bad and they're naughty and moral. But don't do that. Don't be the morality police on Twitter or anywhere for one day. Try it for one day and see how your life goes. It's actually kind of nice. Not being that way. Don't listen to any politics. Ignore politics for one day. Just one day. Ignore politics. Nothing's going to happen. I'm telling you now. I used to watch EastEnders, and do you know why I stopped watching EastEnders? Because for a week or so, I maybe it was 2 weeks. I couldn't watch it, and I came back and I said, all the plot lines have moved on. Everything is everything's different, but everything is still exactly the same. Oh, and I was like, Why am I watching this nonsense for? So I stopped watching, and then I went back like 6 months later to check it out. Still exactly the same. Same thing with politics. Just get off politics. It's making you crazy. MSNBC, CNN, BBC, all of them. They're all telling you like the world's gonna win. Oh my God! You've got to panic. You've got to panic. Yeah, keep telling. No. They're making you crazy. I'm telling you, they're making you crazy. Give it a try. Just give it a try. And the third and most important thing is if you can do it for a day, that's great. But if you can't do it for a day, it's very hard. Do it for half a day. If you can't do it for half a day, do it for an hour. Or do it for like an hour a day. An hour when you're awake. Don't do it at 3 a.m. Take an hour out of the day and don't speak badly about anyone or anything. Don't speak negatively. Don't speak badly. Don't complain for 1 hour. 1 hour. I'm telling you, it will make your life so much better, and it'll make it that if you love this era because on its own merits, which I honestly my brain can't comprehend. But okay, if you do, you love it on its own merits, that's fine. You won't be so upset by people not loving it. You know, you'll be fine. Or if you do all that, it'll make your head like feel so much better. So let's read why the Timeless Child retcon can be good for Doctor Who's future. Can be. So, like, they've come from saying, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, to saying, oh my God, this is terrible. So now they're at to, but it could be good. It might not be terrible. That's the vibe I'm getting from it. Doctor Who Season 12 rewrote the franchise's lore with the Timeless Child retcon, and only time will tell whether it was worth it or not. No, I'll tell you now, it wasn't worth it. You know why it wasn't worth it? Because fandom didn't like it. And I'm sorry, that's the reality. Fandom simply didn't like it. And Normies hated it, okay? Normies like, they didn't hate that. They hated this era of Doctor Who, okay? They just don't like it. They leave the room when it comes on. It's dour, it's boring, they don't like it. Fandom didn't like the Timeless Children. They just didn't. I'm sorry. You know, I remember at the time. Now, it's been a few months since it's been on. And, like, yeah, how awful it was is fading away from people's memory. That's why I always say the worst thing that could happen to Doctor Who, the worst thing that happened in this era of Doctor Who, is them to make and air more episodes of Doctor Who. You know, which is why I think the rabid fans this era are in a meltdown because they know know it's over. They know it's a failed experiment. You know, they keep saying, no, the ratings are the same. No, they're not. They're not. It's a failed experiment. Okay, you know, it took 2 years to burn away all the goodwill that you had coming in. Now, and I agree, Capaldi wasn't a popular Doctor, far more popular than Jodie. I mean, and just going by the numbers, mate. But he wasn't a popular Doctor compared to Matt Smith, compared to David Tennant. So I think the answer is really quite simple. A good-looking bloke tends to attract more people than not. You know, it's like again, this just didn't work. And I was on board. Look, everybody who comes to my channel knows I was on board for the Jodie Doctor. I was yeah, I wasn't one of the people who said no, it cannot be. Fine, let's read this nonsense. Doctor Who's Timeless Child retcon can be good for the show's future. Current Doctor Who showrunner promised season 12 would redefine the series. Yeah, no. It's redefined his series. He decanonized himself with it. That's how bad it was. It was actually, it's the first time I think a TV episode or TV season has decanonized itself. It's gonna be forgotten forever. Promise he attempted to fulfill his promise in the season finale, The Timeless Children, which introduced the biggest retcon since Time was introduced in 1969 War Games. I still think the biggest retcon was Hartnell regenerating. Yeah, I do. I think the War Games was a smaller retcon compared to, like, okay, we all knew that there were alien spells. Well, there aren't, but I mean, we don't know of any. We all knew the concept of alien planets. Nobody thought of, like, oh, the Doctor's going to go turn white and glowy and become Patrick Troughton. Really? Nobody thought of that. Nobody thought that was going to happen. So I would say that's probably a bigger revelation. It seems the Doctor is no Time Lord at all. And that's what one of the things fandom didn't like. The other thing fandom didn't like is how it absolutely doesn't sink in with Doctor Who, Doctor Who history at all. Until rather, she is a timeless child, a being from another universe who became the base code. Oh God, it makes me want to vomit even reading it. Genetic code for the entire Time Lord race. And the truth is, there are actually germs of interesting ideas here, but it's so wrapped up in the clear goal was to have a stunning and brave little black girl and little brown girl and little Asian girl and little it was like the United Colors of Benetton at the beginning. Why? To make the Doctor much less white and much less male. The two things they find problematic. And now, some of the fans of this era go, "Oh, you're just reading into it." Really? Yeah, it seems to me that that it's a very common trope that when an established male character is then gender swapped to a female character, it's normally within a year to 2 years that they then redefine that character and say, no, this character was always female originally. It was all, and like the male thing was an aberration. They take the maleness out, which, okay, I think's weird and stupid, but they do it over and over and over again. So go figure. Because they're crazy. They're crazy. The Time Machine retcon has divided the fan base since its reveal. Divided? When you say divided, you have in mind of an equal divide. No, I think this is a very unequal divide. I would say 80 against 24 will be my and the 24. Funnily enough, have a similar Twitter feed to this guy, which is Trump, Brexit, Johnson. Yeah, it seems to be a recurring trope of you guys to do that. The episode itself wasn't well written, was it? What? Okay. That's why the episode itself wasn't well written, employing a tell not show approach. Wow, this is really quite harsh against it to storytelling. That's less effective. Yeah, because Chibnall's just a bad writer. It wasn't the first time they did that. Well, it was an episode that had the really weird animated bit in the middle. Oh God, that's so stupid. I think the only way they could really push out Doctor Who by 2021 anyway is if they did it like animated. Maybe they'll do like a kind of rotoscope sort of thing, and people can shoot their own scenes in their own green screen of their room of their homes, and then nobody has to be socially and everybody can be socially distanced. I think that's probably the only option, really. I think that could well be. Okay, so he didn't like the episode wasn't well written, and as was all the episodes of this season. It's really weird. The Villa of whatever. They keep saying that's a great episode. I remember watching it. It was boring as hell. You had Lord Byron and Mary Shelley, and instead of them like snorting coke off each other, they were doing quadrilles. It was just really, really boring. Fine. So he didn't, and the retcon put classic Doctor Who above the 2005 relaunch. If you're freaking insane and don't know anything about Doctor Who, again, Robert Holmes in a wig, Philip Hinchcliffe in a wig, does not a timeless child make. Let me just be very clear. And that is that's such a desperate grasping at straws. I said yesterday in my video, it's not just a reach, that's a reach round, baby. That is a reach round. Clashing significantly with key stories in Matt Smith era. Some fans are calling for the Timeless Children to be retconned in Doctor Who season 13. No, they're saying if you were smart, they would do that. But they're not smart, so then they are not going to do that. That's just not going to happen. To be retconned in Doctor Who season 13, perhaps revealing the Master was lying all along, but it's unlikely to happen. It's unlikely to happen because the people here are morons. Chris Chibnall is a moron. But why has Chris Chibnall decided to rewrite decades worth of Doctor Who so he can make the Doctor less white and less male? Very, very obviously. That's why. Contributing in such a dramatic way. Because he's taking like a few surface details, the things that people like. Oh, we're re-examining Doctor Who's lore, things like that. And then he's just doing it badly because he's got this insane agenda, that he wants to use Doctor Who as a platform for. Ooh, you can save planets or you can wreck them. Oh, shut up. Ooh, I feel a bit socially awkward. I mean, it's just such a shit series. In truth, there's a good reason. Oh, pray tell. It's because the Timeless Child could be good for the show's future. Again, if you're happy for the show to end, then yeah, that's that. If you think the it to be forgotten and derided to be good, then yeah, that sounds great. It can not only expand on what's already been established with the Doctor, but work within that continuity. No, it can't. No, it can't. Showrunner Christian has suggested that he's telling a story he first came up with when he was a teenager watching Doctor Who in the 80s. Oh, you remember that time? Remember the time in the 80s when you went on TV and you asked Pip and Jane Baker and John Nathan Turner, who had the balls to face you, which you don't have to do today, do you? No, you don't. And he said, no, isn't it a bit... Don't you think it's a bit boring? But I think it's been done before. Yeah. Just play that back to yourself, mate. That's what you should do. In the 80s, that certainly explains why the retcon fits better with classic series than it does with the post-2005 relaunch. And as such, okay, I want to just say one thing. From 1963 to 2017, everything kind of nicely, we didn't have any problems like this. Everything was reasonably nicely fitted together, right? So yeah, it's I don't know why you're differentiating it. I don't know why, because you're desperate. You're desperate. That's what's going on. And as such, in order to fully appreciate the retcon, fans need to begin by looking at the so-called Cartmel Master Plan, which has nothing to do with this whatsoever. This was the brainchild of script editor Andrew Cartmel, who believed Doctor Who had lost some of its mystique during the because the Doctor had gradually become transformed into something of a known commodity. So, she thought, wow, criminal thought, people know what the Doctor Who is, so we'll just change everything about it. And then I think it'll work out well. Yeah, that sounds like his plan. It's important to understand Cartmel did not intend to provide a new origin story for the Doctor. Well, he did, actually. He was content to simply drop subtle clues and hints. You read Long Barrow? That's not so subtle. All he wanted to do was throw Doctor back into the shadow, again, and just give a few hints of what was going on. Yeah, again, but if you throw Doctor into the shadows after saying that he's not really a Time Lord, but instead a massive halibut from the planet Flank instead of Gallifrey, that will be a little bit disconcerting, right? That will be a little bit. I don't think it would have gone down so well. Cartmel explained in a recent interview with the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS radio show. Thus, Remembrance of the Daleks. That was when they tried to. They told him about the Timeless Children, and they said, "Oh, that sounds awful." Was it? I think that was them. Doctor obliquely referenced the founding of Time Lord Society as though he'd been there in Silver Nemesis. Has only been there, and the Silver Nemesis Lady Painful hinted that she knew the Doctor's secret history, including the actions in Gallifrey's past. Chibnall, again, Long Barrow. Everything is revealed in Long Barrow. Chibnall's Childless Child retcon served the same purpose. No, the purpose of it was to make the Doctor less white and less male. That's the purpose. Very obviously the purpose. He actually wrote in the script for a character that has no lines and has nothing to do with their skin color at all, that the Doctor that the Timeless Child regenerates into a beautiful brown girl. That's exactly. I mean, that was the words in the script. So don't tell me there's any colorblind casting. And if you're a fan of the series, you're going to say, "Oh, are you scared of black people on TV?" No. I'm scared of tokenism. I'm not scared of it. I'm reviled by token. Tokenism reviles me. It's disgusting. It's not. I don't want to see black people on TV. I don't want to see them use as props for you to feel good about yourself. If you want to feel good about yourself, may I suggest be a good person? May I suggest don't go on Twitter. Don't go on Twitter, and don't be obsessed with politics, and don't be negative constantly. Don't keep going on about how the world is terrible. In fact, I'm going to give you another piece of advice. Something that's really good, really, really helpful. Make yourself a gratitude list. Make yourself a list of things that you are truly grateful for. And go, I know you know it, but go over it anyway. You're going to be happier. And these Twitter feeds I see are miserable. Ben Cook is the poster child for this type of I would call it activist fan. He is he's just such an insanely miserable human being. Never met him, just going on his Twitter feed, which is just misery after misery. Like misery, 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 politics, politics, politics. Oh, let me be nasty to people who don't agree with me. Watch and repeat over and over and over again. So it doesn't serve the same purpose. Everything fans thought they knew about the Doctor is a lie, right down to the idea that William Hartnell was the first Doctor. Again, that's something that fans really hated. Really, really hated. The Doctor, once again, hails from an unknown race, probably possibly even from a different universe altogether. And she is over 1 billion years old. Again, 1 billion years old and indestructible. She's what we call a Mary Sue. You made her into a very boring character. That's what it is. She's boring. And that's why people don't want to watch it, because she is boring. It is boring. She is grating. And she is just a vile virtue signaler. Yeah, even she doesn't know who she really is. Nothing matters. Chibnall has accomplished some of what Carmel intended by successfully throwing the Doctor into shadow again. What do you say, throwing into shadow again? Do you mean like throwing it into the what was that phrase they kept using when they cancelled it in was it 89? The Doctor is you sent him to the backwaters of TV audience appreciation. So I think that was the line used over again. Yeah, so that's the shadows you put in. You took it out of the light of popularity and put it into the shadows of unpopularity. It is not popular. And again, you like it. That's great. God bless you. I'm happy you like it. There's nothing, again. And if you like it, me hating it shouldn't have any impact on you whatsoever. There are many things I like that people just hate, and it's fine. It's fine. Like, again, Doctor Who, when I was a kid in the 80s, everybody hated it, and they thought you were a nerd and an idiot for liking it. I still loved it. We all still loved it. Oh, God, why are you people so weak? Like, hey, he said he didn't like it. It makes me feel bad. Oh, he made fun of me being a horrible person. It makes me feel bad. And you feeling bad is really too big a deal in your lives. It really is. And again, they keep saying, oh, we sit here ranting. No. Okay, I am responding to their bullshit. If they don't put the bullshit out, I won't respond to it. It's that simple. Blah, 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 blah. The impact of the Time to Steal retcon has frequently been exaggerated. Wait a minute, you just said it was the biggest thing ever. How do you exaggerate the biggest? Okay, let's go back. Well, 1 second. Doctor Who Season 12 rewrote the franchise's law with the Timeless Children retcon. And where was it? They said it's the biggest thing since 69. Where was it? Ooh, 69. One of my favorite numbers, actually. I'll be honest with you. I love the 6, okay? The 6, 100%, one of my favorite numbers. The 9, I can, I can take it or leave it. I will put up with a 9 to get to the 6, no problem. But the 6 is the one I really like. The 9, that's one. What's it? So he said he attempted. Time Nation was introduced the biggest retcon in the titles since the titles were introduced in 1969 to War Games. So that's what, 31, that's 51 years ago, right? So, and now you're saying, let's read this back. The impact of the Timeless Children retcon has frequently been exaggerated. Apparently by you, Dingaling. It's a huge change to Doctor Who's lore, but it actually changes nothing about the Doctor's character. Absolutely not true. It makes the Doctor functionally immortal. The Doctor can't die. That changes a lot about the Doctor's character. That takes all the stakes away. Again, how can it be the biggest thing ever and it doesn't change anything? It's because you're an arsehole. But bottom line, it's because you're an arsehole. The viewpoint was driven home in the Timeless Children, with the Master leaving the Doctor and the Matrix, believing this revelation will cripple her emotionally. Well, it doesn't take much, does it? Jodie Whittaker's Doctor was instead confronted by Joe Martin's mystery past Doctor, next Doctor, whatever the hell she is Doctor, who insisted she had not been fundamentally changed by experience. Reassured, Whittaker broke out the Matrix, symbolically choosing to still be the Doctor. But okay, she can't choose to still be the Doctor if she is not the Doctor in any way. Okay, the Doctor never cruel, never cowardly. The Doctor is not a virtue signaler. The Doctor is somebody who's a hero. Doctor is somebody who inspires people. The Doctor is somebody who, if you say to him, Doctor, I have this fear of my cancer coming back. It goes around and round in my head. Can you do anything to inspire me? The Doctor is somebody who would lift somebody up and inspire them. The Doctor is not somebody who will go, oh, I feel a bit socially awkward. No, the Doctor is not somebody who lectures you and bores you and wags your finger. The Doctor is not a Karen. That's the bottom line. The Doctor is not a Karen. So if she's great, she's choosing to be the Doctor, be the first bloody time. The Doctor is not who she is because of her backstory in Gallifrey. No, it's because of her character, which you fundamentally don't understand. Again, I don't think Jodie Whittaker sees any truth or reality in the role. I don't think she sees any authenticity in the character. I think she sees the character as a silly children's character that doesn't need to have truth or authenticity in it. The Doctor is not who she is because of her backstory. Instead, she fundamentally she is who she is because of the choices she makes. The same point was stressed by Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor, and the Doctor falls when he argued with the Master. But this is good dialogue. Now you can't. Okay, why are you applying good dialogue to Jodie Whittaker? She can't deliver good dialogue. Yeah, to prove that point. Could you Can you imagine? You've seen Genesis of the Daleks, right? Genesis of the Daleks, one of the best scenes ever in Doctor Who. Tom Baker holding up the two strands of wire, right? He touched them together. The Dalek incubators will be destroyed in their infancy. And he asked himself, do I have the right? Do I have the right to do this? And he has a real moral quandary and wrestle with himself, which is really quite. It was really, for a little kid watching it, I was like, well, it blew my freaking mind. I was like, wait a minute, the black and white. You'll always take out the villain, but do you have the right? Life is that precious. That's the wonderful moral complexity of this character. Can you imagine Jodie Whittaker doing it? No. She'll be like, oh yeah, chuff and grin. Yeah, put them together, bye, darlings, because they're like the Yahtzees. Oh yeah. No. There is no moral ambiguity or layered thought process to this to her take on the Doctor whatsoever. So let's just read the quote from Capaldi, because it is freaking brilliant. I'm not trying to win. That's Jodie's only ever trying to win. I'm not doing this because I want to beat somebody. Jodie's always, she wants to beat somebody, and she wants to be seen to be virtuous. Those are the most important things to a Doctor. Or because I hate someone, she hates anybody. All this like silly open for all. Yeah, it's open for. Let's say a Trump voter wants to get in the TARDIS. You open the door for her, Jodie? No, of course you're bloody not. It comes with a MAGA hat, waving a Brexit flag. They're gonna get in the TARDIS. You're gonna welcome them in? No, you're not, are you? You're gonna virtual signal to them. And by the way, virtual signaling only ever happens when you attack somebody, because you say, oh, they're not virtual. They only ever do that to anybody who's safe to castigate. They never do it to their own peer group. We see the comic book industry, which is in its death throes right now. It's in the current state of it anyway. All these stories of abuse have been coming out of women after they've been screaming how much they believe women. Like, who are you kidding? And none of this peer group who virtue signal ever said anything about their own. They only ever go to people after people are safe. Who was that? The thing I read this morning was Scott Snyder, perhaps one of the top writers in the industry right now, was forced to, basically was forced by the mob to attack Dean Cain. Because Dean Cain correctly said, if I was playing Superman now, they wouldn't allow me to say truth, justice, and the American way. I agree with him. Yeah, and Tom King said, well, really? I wrote that in a comic. Yeah, this last year. Well, no, he actually didn't. He had somebody else say it, and it was like this little out of continuity Walmart comic. Yeah, the actual character saying it in film. So then this Mean Girls crap went down. There's somebody on Twitter. See Twitter again, posted a picture of Dean Cain, said, say who this is, wrong answers only. And Scott Snyder said, Superman. Why? Because he just has to appease the mob, right? He has to appease they just go. Because that's what virtual signaling is. They only attack people who they can. Just like Jodie, by the way. Jodie, she never takes on anybody. Her character, though, it never takes on anybody who's actually a real threat. When she actually tries to, do you notice how the dismissal they were of her? Yeah, but she went after Ryan's dad. Easy target. Easy target. It doesn't really. She doesn't really strike me as anybody with moral courage. Even her performance of the Doctor or her personally doesn't actually strike me as being very smart. Doctor also is somebody who is also very, very smart. Jodie just doesn't strike me as being very clever. Yep, that's the way it is. If you can't work out the plot holes in your own scripts, you're reading. And they're pretty big to see. So, well, you would have thought she would have get. Wait a minute, Chris. It says here that I do something that destroys the human race. Is that something we want to do? No, she's too dumb to notice that. It's not because I hate something, or because I want to blame somebody. Oh, they want to blame everybody else for the ills of the world. What they really want to blame people for is the world not being as bad as they've been desperately wanting it to be. It's not because it's fun. Ganging up on people's fun. These are all things. None of this applies to Jodie's Doctor. God knows it's not because it's easy. It's not even because it works, because it hardly ever does. I do it because it's right, because it's decent, and above all, it's kind. And it's just that, just kind. Jodie's Doctor is not kind. Jodie's Doctor is concerned about Jodie. Jodie's Doctor is concerned about Jodie's Doctor. If I run away today, good people will die. If I stand up and fight, some of them might live. Maybe not many, maybe not for long. Hey, maybe there's no point of any of this at all, but it's the best I can do. I'm going to do it, and I will. What, did you just need a fluff to fill out this article? And I will stand here doing it until it kills me. Oh, I hope it kills you, Jodie. Really? I mean, not you personally, your character, gone forever, and not mourned or missed. In the face of the Timeless Child retcon, it would have been easy for the Doctor to give in to bitterness and hatred of the Time Lords. No, you're treating it like it's real. Nothing about this Doctor Who, this era of Doctor Who, is treated as it's got reality or consequence to it. Or despair of loss of identity. Yeah, do you think Jodie thinks that deeply about the character? Do you think Chibnall does? I don't, really. And instead, she recognises that her past does not dictate her present, because, I don't want to be free of those evil white men. Oh, free of them. And every day she's a product of her choices. Choices to be an idiot. She is still the Doctor. Nope. Unchanged on a fundamental level. I want to say no. Obviously, she is the Doctor. She just erased from my headcanon. She is so fundamentally different to the Doctor. Will the China's Child be worth it? Oh, God, thank God this isn't over. Oh, look, it's a stunning brown girl. Oh, how wonderful, how stunning, how brave. The Doctor is now an unknown quantity once again. No, because this is meaningless. This whole era, nobody's watching this era. Most of the fandom don't like it. The viewing public aren't interested. None of this matters because it's all going away. And if it doesn't go away, then Doctor Who's going away. Because there's not, once again, there's not enough fans of this era to sustain it. Right? There's just not enough. There's about 20% of fandom, and right now you're down to about 20% of your initial viewing figures. It's not good. It's not good. It's actually kind of a bad sign. No social media imprint. Your catch-up numbers are terrible. It's just not going well. A mysterious and eccentric alien who travels through time and space. Modern viewers can now experience the same thrills as fans of the classic series. It's a much easier way of doing it is just decide that's how we're gonna make Doctor Who. We're not gonna think about the past so much. We're just gonna do it like that. But and as it has been before, they made these changes like this before. Tom Baker getting the randomizer, for example. That was a distinct tone change that was brought in. Most viewers can now experience. Yeah, if I want to experience the thriller fans of the classic series, I watch the classic series. Who watched the truth of the Doctor as the Doctor was gradually revealed. There was one crucial difference between Andrew Cartmel and Christian. When Cartmel was talented, where Cartmel was content to drop hints, Chibnall intends to provide concrete answers and use like a what was it, a mallet to to try and hammer it in to place. The Timeless Child retcon is specific about many of its details. One reason Cartmel, ironically, isn't a fan, and and in the interview, Chibnall has hinted further answers will indeed be forthcoming. Again, I'm watching it to review it. I recommend we'll just watch my reviews. I'll tell you everything that happens. Not that we're going to have to worry for like a year and a half at least. I mean, 2022 is my guess. Is the earliest we're seeing Doctor Who again. Can you imagine what it's going to be when it comes back? I reckon it's not out of line with the after it really like turned off the viewing public. Really completed this season. It really totally did. What does they get a 50% drop? You know, they start in the mid 3s and they end up in like the low 2s, high 1s. It could happen. It could really happen. And I think that's why the fans of the year are freaking out. All this means is there's a sense in which it's too soon to properly evaluate the Titus Children retcon. Nah, I can evaluate now. It's shit. Okay, done it for you, mate. No problem. That's $50 you owe me. Because it has been because it only just begun. At a stroke, Chibnall has rewritten 50 years of continuity. Wait a minute. At a stroke, Chibnall has rewritten 50 years of continuity. Let's go back and read this again. The impact of the Timeless Child retcon has frequently been exaggerated. So what he's saying there is, people like me keep saying it's crap. Okay, that's what he's saying. But then but he's contradicting himself here. But fans don't yet know what he'll replace it with. My guess, stunning and brave people who aren't white men. That's my guess. That's my guess. I think that's really what's really important to him. The Time Lords have been played out, but something new is about to emerge in their place. By the way, this is exactly what Russell T Davies did. Like he did a Time War and removed the Time Lords and that all that law and started afresh. Didn't really need to do that again because it's like you weren't reintroducing Doctor Who to in public again. The Time Lord's been played out, but something new is about to merge in place. It's true the initial retcon was clumsily done, but the real test will be what comes next. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Only then will Doctor Who fans be able to say whether or not it's worth it. I can say now it's not worth it because it was awful. My name is Sheila Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.